today for now. This one our way. We are in outside door it clear. Any carry yoki. That one they get beaucoup technicality for play with. They get beaucoup thing for play with. So this one in our way. We in outside no more. We get one problem. We hope you don't see it clear. So now I make a decide for use today. Yes. You don't need for fear. Why should you? But what's that you? You're a human.
See, if now one way they get for Tibet.
Yeah, it's a war. It's not war. I know that bash yesterday and bash on the Monday. I know that bash yesterday too.
The mic on.
Bakar, move with me. Yes, Bakar. Yes, Bakar. Move with me.
Okay, that last kind short and already short tight.
Good morning from the Model Junction on the Hillside Bypass Road in Freetown. Well, this is the central part of the city. The road you're seeing is not a new road, and it's neither not an old one. It was constructed a few years ago. Even though the road is not fully completed in terms of construction, it has been done by the Senegalese Road Construction Company, CSC. So where they are right now is a major block in terms of the rocks that they are trying to clear up to complete this road. But just by the time this very road was completed, the occupation on the footpaths and even on the main way has been occupied predominantly by what you see right behind me by the side, the road sides on both ends. The commercial motorbike riders, the drivers, the taxi drivers who ply the routes to Frobe College and Leicester Village, and also the traders. This has become predominantly the trouble for most roads on the main highway or the main streets of Freetown, where traders have occupied, narrowing down the pathway to just one way. What was meant to be a dual carriageway, two sides on either lanes, have been narrowed down to one lane. So vehicles coming from either sides have to negotiate their way through. You have to slow down, regardless of the precautions you take. You have to slow down and be ready for, obviously, the jams or congestions that have taken place here. On the other side, on the right-hand side from the east of the city, is the way to the Parliament of Sierra Leone. And before you go there, you go past the Model School, Model Government Secondary School. You go past Sarwako up to the Parliament. This way has been blocked thoroughly from vehicular pathways. When you go down briefly, you will see there's a barricade which has been demarcated for footpaths, for pedestrians pathway. Beyond that has been blocked. No vehicular pathway. On the other side is the way to Frobe College and Leicester Community, and onward to the Gloucester, Bathurst, and those hillside communities of Freetown. This is clear. Just at the junction there, you see Albert Academy. But just look at how the bike riders have occupied the way. You will see that vehicles coming from that hillside have the potential to have a crash with those bikes that are already stationed at that junction. There's hardly any precaution taken by motorists here. Pedestrians have been left at the mercy of the volatile situation here, which seems to be under no control. Last week we were at King Haman Road, Railway Line Junction, where motorists are left to negotiate their way well with each other. But here, there used to be traffic officers. When we arrived earlier today, we met some traffic officers, road safety calls, as well as traffic police personnel from the Sierra Leone Police, who were stationed where the signpost or banner is located right now. But right now, they're gone. They are, however, around the area, but the vehicles or the motorists are equally left to negotiate their ways. So there's hardly any official to regulate traffic here, except and unless there is an accident or a road crash that often you will see them around. They are around the area, around the vicinity, watching, observing. But let us talk to some of these commercial riders. I see some of them, in fact, rushing to my technician, well, assuming he's rushing to the east. See, this is how usually they rush to get passengers coming from the west, hoping that those people who appear around this area are traveling to the far east. This is where most people who want to make their way easier to the far east come to get motorbike to access the easier way to the east, especially Upgon I'm in fact very, very careful here. Otherwise, I'll be hit by one of these guys. I'm very careful. Look at this end. Look at the truck coming from that end. You will see that if motorbikes are parked nearby, you can see that already. Look at that motorbike parked without any caution. This is what is left at this Hillside Bypass Road, Model Junction. So if the brake of that truck is not as accurate enough, that is how accidents usually occur here. See the traffic officer, traffic police personnel just arriving at the scene. Well, perhaps because the camera has been apparent, that is why they are already showing up. But before we came, they were standing nearby. Let us go and talk to some of these people to find out. How do they control traffic here? Because the architectural makeup of this road is in fact not appropriate, from what we can see, for traffic officers to stand and regulate traffic. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Would you want to speak to the SLBC quickly? What's your name, sir?
My name is Abraman Tambamola.
Abraman Tambamola. You're a road safety corps, right?
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been here?
And today is my second day here to regulate traffic.
Your second day here
Yes.
as traffic warden.
Normal deployments, yes, sir.
So at what time do you come here usually? And at what time do you leave this place?
At 6:30 and we leave 3 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon.
Why 3?
Well, that's our own normal routine. Because
Or do you work on shift?
yes, I work on a 2-shift basis.
So the person who replaces you
at 3 o'clock p.m.
comes at 3
Yes.
and leaves at what time?
9 p.m.
So you have a cut-off time that you control or regulate traffic here.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so?
Well, that's a normal deployment of the authorities because we work on 2-shift basis.
Would you want to speak louder for our audience to hear you properly?
Yes, I said the authority has the mandate to regulate us here because we are operating here on 2-shift basis. So that's why we are here. We, the early shift, we are here from 6:30 to 3 p.m. Whilst the late shifts came here from 3 to 9 p.m.
What basically do you regulate here? Is it the movement of vehicles, the
movement,
human
people,
traffic,
pedestrians, and so on?
But that's not what we see here. You see, the whole place is congested.
Congested based on motorbikes here because as you can see the entire place here, both the bikes riders occupied both left and right of the main road here, and as you can see the place here is it's a separate junction here. And during the late shifts, because I've worked here again during the late shifts, the motorbikes normally confuse us when we are regulating the traffic. They come across both left and right. When we stop the vehicle, at least these two should stop, but they normally refuse to stop. This is our main challenge here.
So who should enforce? If you are the actual enforcers and you're tired, you're fed up enforcing that, then one will wonder whose responsibility would it be to do the actual enforcement now?
We are not tired anyway. We are doing our own bits, in terms of regulating the traffic. But we want the union that's concerned, because even the chairman here at Model here, I've spoke to the chairman, but for them to help us to control their men, when normally we are trying to execute our duties here, but at times they fail to come in our aids, these boys here, as you can see, they are more than us with the officers here. So when we want to enforce, they will come into the rampage to do what they want to do, you see. So this is our own challenge here.
Already when we arrived, they felt jittery that perhaps we're coming to expose them so that authorities will take them away from this place. Already they had started demonstrating some hostile attitude. Regardless, we'll still go ahead. But look at the vicinity. Street traders, it's not only limited to the bike riders, commercial bike riders that have caused the congestion. You see traders occupying the footpaths, the pedestrian ways.
Yes, I see.
Whose responsibility is that? You just mentioned you're working with the Bike Riders Union park chairman to regulate this, but look at the traders. How do you work with their council or their union?
That one, I don't have much to say on that area because my own...
But that also falls under the purview of road safety. Because if pedestrians don't have the way to pass where they're supposed to ply, then they have to negotiate with the vehicles on the way.
No, but as for me, I don't see that one as a much more much more things to see here, because as you can see at the footpath, there is a space where pedestrians can make use of. Okay, the only thing here, the motorbikes are the one that cause much of traffic for us here, because as you can see the traders, they are staying back, whilst the pedestrians have a little space to pass to go to the other destination. So as for me, for the pedestrians, we do not have much on them, because more the workload is on the.
But have you been here when school is over?
Yes.
During times when schools are over.
I've worked here in the late shifts, and I've been here from 3 and the early shifts from 6:30 to 3 p.m. You know, school normally off 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
The reason I'm asking that is because during that time there is huge congestion. On this side towards Parliament is the Model Government Secondary School.
Yes, sir.
And just behind you is Albert Academy,
yes,
and the Sierra Leone Muslim Brotherhood,
yes,
among other schools on the way to Furabe College.
Yes, sir.
And you have students flying to and from Furabe College on a daily basis, even on weekends. So that's why I'm asking if you are around this vicinity during the time when schools are over,
yes,
to see the congestion here.
I've been here, and we manage the situation anyway, just as at earlier what I just told you. As you can see, just like what I've just told you, as you can see, during school session, we intercept, we make sure they have their free flow to cross the road, you know. That's one is the normal routine.
I already start feeling what these traffic officers are going through. Where we are standing right now, imagine a traffic police officer is to stand here and regulate the movements, the flow of vehicles. Himself will be putting himself at risk, because imagine the hill coming from Furabe College or from Berry Street, that's Berry Street. Imagine that truck that was already coming down had a brake failure. What would happen to any pedestrian or the man himself standing here to regulate traffic? So this architectural makeup of this area itself is a whole question, just as we had questioned the architectural makeup for traffic regulation and control at Kinyaman Road and Railway Line last week. Next week, we'll be taking you to another location, perhaps in the east of the capital, where congestion has already overtaken and adding more burden to the enforcers to make the issue of lawlessness and indiscipline much more troublesome to handle. Look at this way. There is hardly any curve, any roundabout, even a small indication to tell drivers, well, you have to turn this way and go this way, until a traffic officer is standing here. So just look around. Just look around. Just look around. People going to work, coming from work, to school, to their business places, all cramped here. They have to negotiate thoroughly. And on the other side, you see the commercial bike riders chasing passengers to the far east. Imagine, they have narrowed the road to just one lane. And this was not the actual intention why this road was opened up from one lane on either side to 2 lanes on both sides. And you see here, this is chaotic. It is chaotic, and this is what Freetown, the city many people have admired and continue to admire in search of greener pastures and opening up their livelihoods, have turned into. And if the actual situation is not put under control, as we have already painted and we continue to see, then things will go beyond expectations and beyond control. But let us continue to see whether we'll be able to talk to a few more people around. Be careful, my cameraman is at risk here. Let us see if we'll be able to talk to 1 or 2 more people around and see. I see a gentleman standing there waiting for public transport. It could be a taxi, it could be a bike. Hello, sir. How are you, sir? Good morning.
I'm fine.
Who are we talking to?
Yeah, talking to Abdulaziz Samura, reporting for Standard Times newspaper.
Abdulaziz is heading to work, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
That's the heavier sound of a truck behind us here. And we are standing just on the one way that has been left for us. Abdulaziz, how do you feel safe standing here waiting for transport?
Not exactly, because as you see, the place is so congested. You know, everywhere and there you can see a pile of bikes, motorcycles and other. There is no place for you to stand to wait for transport to embark on your journey. So, in a nutshell, it's not that safe.
But this is what you have to go through every day.
Exactly, this is what I have to go through. Because I'm also a student also at Fobe College, so I use this route to apply to Fobe College.
How often do you see accidents occurring here?
Not that much. You know, the last time I witnessed one is about last academic year. We are in a student at, I stand to be corrected at social work department. You know, she met with a fearsome accident where I think her foot was cut off. Yeah, at around Beristi, just after Albert Academy.
Coming way down?
Yes, coming way down. No, she was trying to go for class, so she met along with the accident. That's the only accident I witnessed.
All right, Abdulaziz, we wish you the very best as you reside around this community, which has been seen to be very unsafe for commuters or pedestrians or some of us.
Okay.
We wish you the very best, Aziz.
You're welcome.
Well, we have little or nothing else to say other than the pictures we have already painted and showed you here from this model junction, the Hillside Bypass Road, which was constructed, opened up, expanded to ease the flow of vehicles. Well, both sides of the road, which are 2 lanes each, have been narrowed on both sides to 1 lane. Well, this is what we'll bring you for now. And hope you'll join us any other time during the Good Morning Sierra Leone program on the SLBC. Next week, we'll be going to the east.